how do you effectively track all of your purchases? After 8 years of selling on Amazon, I've built a simple system that forms the foundation of how we manage all of our stock, our purchases, invoices, tracking, and even bulk uploading to Amazon. Today, I'm going to share with you exactly how this works, and you can get this for free right now using the link in the description down below. So whenever you click any of the links down below, we're going to have a US and a UK one. Obviously, get the one right for the marketplace you are selling on. Now, the first thing you're going to see is it's going to do make a copy. Click this, and you've got to be signed into a Google account. If you don't make a copy and try and edit the master, everything you record on the purchase sheet is going to be publicly available for everyone else who uses that link. So please be aware. Once we click make a copy, we're going to get a copy of the buy sheet. Now, when you open up the sheet, it's got a couple of tabs. We've got the buy sheet, the delivery costs, the setup, listings uploader, the FAS, the reorders, and the import restock. And I'll show you all of these, how they work. At the beginning, you're going to have the buy sheet. This is really the core of the sheet and where we track our purchases. You've got different sections. You've got green. And if I scroll across, you've got blue. You've got this yellow section, an orange section, and a gray, and then a purple section. And I'll explain what they all mean. So whenever we make any purchases, what we're going to do is basically export. And if we have seller amp, you could change how it exports. So for example, what order the columns are in, what they are. And what we do is we export to this. Now, what we actually do is export to another sheet, which is called like a pre-purchase sheet. We make all the purchase, and once they're done, we'll copy everything we've purchased over to this sheet here, and it's like a master record. Now, to be clear, we only save deals that we've actually purchased. We don't save deals that we might like, because that's just going to fill up the sheet, and we don't want opportunities. We want actual purchases. Hence why it's called a buy sheet or a purchase sheet. Now, again, we've got like the product name, the ASIN, the category, the buy price, the sell price, and then where did we buy it from, the source URL. And we've got bundles. So how many is in a packet? So for example, if the ASIN quantity is a 2-pack, then we put 2 in there. And then how many did we buy from the supplier? So if we bought 10 units individually from the supplier, which is how many are going to be delivered, then we'd write 10. Now, obviously 10 will go into a 2-pack. So that means we're going to get 5 resulting outcomes, but that kind of gets calculated later on. Then we also have profit margin, which you can change to ROI if you want, break even, which is useful, and then BSR. Now, what we also have here is delivery fee. Now, delivery fee I'll talk about a bit later. What this is going to do is basically, if you want to account for your delivery fees across a big order, then you can put it into the delivery cost, and I'll put it down here, is you can basically put an order number in, total number of units, and the delivery cost, and then it will work out a price per unit. And what it will do is it will add that cost into here, into the delivery fee, so it can attribute it towards across the whole order. For us, we don't do that. We just leave it blank. If you want to, you can. And then what it also does is work out total spend. So obviously, we know how many units you bought and the price, so we know the total spend. And then we have a link to Amazon, which you can load up if you want to see that product. Now, what we also have here is the blue section. The blue section is purchases. So it basically, we put in the name of the store, which is helpful, the date we purchased it, the promo cashback that we use payment option, and you can have a drop down to choose them. And I'll show you how to edit that in a minute. We have also the order number for tracking. Obviously, if we want to find out what's going on with the order, we can identify that really easy. And we've got 2 columns for comments. So you can do a comment maybe about the order, something going on, and then maybe some follow-up that you need to do later on. Then we have what's known as sourcing method. So for example, here you can drop down and choose a different sourcing method. And then also as well, we have what's known as VA identifier. So if you've got VAs in your business, or even if you're sourcing from different suppliers or different ways of sourcing, you can give yourself a VA number. And the reason why this is good is because later on, you're going to see that we can actually start identifying how much each of our VAs are spending on deals and how much profit we expect to make from them, which is really important when you want to understand who's making all the profit in your business. Now, on top of this, we also have what's known as a listing loader and a shipment loader. You can put a Y in there, so just a letter Y, which you can see already, and that's going to add this product to Amazon listing uploader, which basically allows you to upload products to Amazon en masse. For example, maybe 5, 10, even 100 products very, very quickly. And we'll show you how to do that. And it's all part of this sheet. And then also as well, what we have is SKUs. So in our business, the way we like to operate is we create a custom SKU for every purchase we've made. So you can see right here, it's got the supplier name. So Walmart, it's got the buy price, it's got the purchase date, and then it's got that FTF, which is the sourcing method. method, then it's got the sell price, and then it's got the VA. And why do I like that? Because it allows us to see lots of information from this SKU the moment we load it up into Amazon or any other software. So we can immediately see just some very useful information. Now, one thing you might be worried about is, can customers see the SKU? The answer is no, it's only available to you to see. So really helpful. Now, on top of that, we also have this last part, which is called delivery section. So you've got a warehouse, maybe in your own house, or maybe using a prep center. What you can do is come in here and then just type in the number of units being delivered. And it's just going to check versus your purchase and tell you if it's correct. And on top of that, you can add some notes. Maybe you've got to chase the supplier, do anything really simple. And then finally, you can put an invoice number in there if you save your invoices to a folder or maybe some software somewhere. The idea is it just allows you to say, not only have I checked in the stock, it's all arrived, fantastic. Also, as well, I've got all the paperwork to prove legitimacy, compliance, and even for my accounting purposes, which if you've got an admin VA, was just going to help you with processes and speeding up your business. At a fundamental level, that is the buy sheet, and it's really quite simply laid out. You've got purchase, you've got the product, the purchase, some toggles, SKU, and then obviously managing the warehouse. Now let's kind of go through a bit more. We've got the delivery cost, and obviously we've talked about that already. So you can put the order number in and it's going to reference that, and obviously total units and delivery cost, and you'll attribute per unit cost per each of those products. Now I'll come back to setup in a minute. The other part, which is really interesting, will come here, is called the listings uploader. Now, whenever we come back here, if we come to the buy sheet, whenever you put a product in and you put the word letter Y in there, what you will see is that same product shows up here in the listings uploader. And what's really good about this is you can very simply just go File, Download CSV, and then I'll jump over to my Amazon Seller Central. Now, when you're in Seller Central, you can go to Catalog, Add Products via Upload, and what's going to happen, very simplistically, you can literally upload this CSV file to Amazon en masse. So right here, if I come in, you've got spreadsheet, and you can just upload right here. Now, one thing I will say is it actually says TSV, not CSV. So again, you just have to do File, Download, and TSV. That's the one, Tab Accelerate Values. And you can upload 50, 100 products at a time, even more. It's a really efficient way to get your products from your sheet up to Amazon en masse. And the way we do it, we make all our purchases in a day, and then as part of our closing process, we just download that, upload it to Amazon, and it takes 5-10 minutes, and we get an email to say it's confirmed. We don't even have to wait. It'll just do it all in the background. Super, super useful. And this basically sets the SKU, the product identifier, which is the ASIN, product type, sale price we want to put it in at, item condition, lots of information. We're adding it in, obviously where we're going to ship it to, and any other information. Just make creating listings so much quicker. Now, the next one I'll show you is called the FAS sheet. Now, the FAS sheet I really like. Why? Because I told you before, you can code VA's information into the SKU, and then you can start seeing how much profit they're generating. So why do I like this? You can click here, and you can select an individual VA or the entire business. And again, what you want to do is load this up. The purchases are going to come through. So what's really interesting is I can see how much we've spent each individual day and versus our target and how we're performing. Now, this is done by, I think, VA1. So if I change it over to VA1, they're now going to show up, which is great. And if I change it over to VA2, what now is going to happen is that's going to disappear. So what's really good is I can see how much I'm spending per VA very, very quickly from an automated report that just allows me to understand how my team are performing, or maybe how I'm performing, whether I'm doing RA or OA. I can choose to code them to different VAs as I go through my business. Now, the next area I want to look at is the setup sheet. Now, really simplistically, this just helps you understand a bit more about the sheet itself. So you can put some information here, your company name, email address, your storefront, if you want to know. Now, another part we have what's known as upload price increase multiple. Now, one thing we've always done is whenever we ship products to Amazon, we always put the price of the product, i.e. the sale price in Amazon when we create the listing, at a higher price than what the market is right now. We might want to sell a product for, say, $100, but we'll always ship it in about $120. Why? Because what we might find is that when our products go in, when we bought them, it was $100, but right now it might go in and the product might be $105, maybe even $110. And what we don't want is when our product comes live, all of a sudden it brings the buy box down to $100 again. So what we always do is ship in a little bit higher than what we expect, and then we allow our repricer to bring that price down. So this basically sets the multiple by which you go above. So if, say, for example, we're going to ship in, you can see right here, we're going to create a listing and we expect to sell it for what, $20. We're now doing it at 120%. So when we upload that listing, we're actually going to be uploading at $24. So that's how it works. So you can see that. So again, you can change that variable if you want. You can also put in prep, bundle fees, and shipping fees. And again, we can help you out with them. And for you, it's just going to help you to understand what your costs are. And that's going to be so useful. We have also the weekly spend target, which you can see right here. And that's going to give you that target number there, which is really simple to see. So when we change it, you'll see it says 200. And that comes from this number right here. Now, the other areas you noticed were on the buy sheet, it's got these drop down boxes. So we've got FTF and VA1, and even the payment used. They come from the setup tab. You can see here, it's got the sourcing method, and you can give it a full name. And the reason is because the SKU length you need to keep under 40 characters in length, you don't want your sourcing method to be too long. So 3 letters is a great kind of indicator. And then obviously if you want to give it a really good, more detailed description, you can here. It's going to help you identify what that means. Payment method, obviously you can put it in here. And once you update that, it's going to update into your buy sheet under that drop down box right here. So again, very simple. Then on top of that, we've got the VA identifier. And again, short abbreviation followed by a full name. So for your team or for you to make it really simple. Then on top of that, we've also got, as you say, some information down here. So if you're not sure about how to do the listings upload and the way that works, this basically tells you what to do, which is so helpful. And then on top of that, we've also got the restock report, where to get the restock report from, which is from your Amazon Seller Central. And if you want to do shipments upload a sheet, you can do that as well. But that's not something in this sheet, it's something you can do. This is really useful because it just helps you to understand how settings work off the sheet, and you can build on this, which is absolutely amazing. Now, the next area I want to show you is the import restock. At a fundamental level, you're just going to go to the setup tab and you're going to click on this link here. When you click on this link here, it's going to load up your product or into your thing, and you can request the TXT of the restock report. Very simple. And it explains down here what you need to get. Now, once you've downloaded that, you just upload it into the restock report, because we're basically taking all of the information from Amazon and putting it into the sheet, which tells us what products you've got in stock, how quickly they're selling, and how much you should reorder based on Amazon's information. Now, why is this important? Because when you come to the reorders tab, you're going to see down here a selection of your products that you've got, the SKU, the ASIN, how much stock you've got, what you bought it for, how many purchases you've done in the last 7, 14, and 30 days, and how much stock you've got by SKU or by ASIN, and even where you bought it from, and how much Amazon's recommending you reorder. This just helps make reordering so much simpler because you've got all the information in one place and you're just working off the same buy sheet and restock report, which can really help you out. This is at a fundamental level, the buy sheet. It's really simple to use, but really powerful. Using a buy sheet like this to record what you've purchased is a powerful tool, but it doesn't stop there. Over the years, I've learned some tough lessons in my Amazon journey and mistakes that have cost me not only time, but a lot of money. Now, the good news is you don't have to repeat the same mistakes that I've done. That is because I've created a video that walks you through the biggest lessons I've learned over the last 5 years. I'm going to drop that video around here. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any more future videos. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson, thank you very much.